The power of the pause, turning silence into your strength. The moment she pulls away, a heavy, suffocating silence sets in. It's the kind of quiet that feels like a physical weight in your chest. You check your phone every 5 minutes, scrolling through old messages, wondering where it went wrong. To most men, this silence feels like a final sentence, a sign that they've been replaced or entirely forgotten. The natural instinct is to fight that feeling by making noise. You want to send that checking in text. You want to explain your side. Or you want to post something online just to prove you're still doing well. But you have to understand that the second you reach out from a place of panic, you lose. You are essentially telling her that your emotional stability depends entirely on her attention. You are handing her the keys to your peace of mind, and nothing kills attraction faster than a man who is easily shaken. What you must realize is that this silence isn't a void. It's a high stakes psychological playground. When she stops reaching out, she isn't just gone, she is processing. She is waiting to see what kind of man you really are when the lights go out. Are you the man who crumbles and begs for clarity? Or are you the man who can stand tall in the stillness? Most men fail this test because they view silence as a lack of interest. But the Stoic man views it as a strategic reset. He knows that by doing nothing, he is actually doing everything. By refusing to chase, you stop being a predictable part of her daily routine and start becoming a mystery she can't quite solve. You shift the dynamic from you wondering why she left to her wondering why you aren't more bothered by it. This is where the magic of the silent reset happens. When you truly master the pause, you create a vacuum. Human nature hates a vacuum. It demands to be filled. If you fill that space with needy texts and explanations, you provide her with all the answers, and her mind finds closure. But if you remain silent, her mind stays active. She begins to question her own decision. She wonders if she underestimated your value, or if you were ever as attached to her as she thought. Your absence becomes a loud, echoing presence in her life. It's a slow burn of curiosity that eventually turns into a deep seated respect. You aren't just a face in her contact list anymore. You are the one man who didn't flinch when she walked away. The ultimate goal of this detachment isn't just to get a reaction, it's about reclaiming your own authority. When you detach correctly, you aren't playing a game, you are returning to yourself. You are choosing to invest that energy back into your own mission, your own fitness, and your own goals. This shift in energy is palpable. Even without saying a word, she will feel the change in your frequency. You become unforgettable, not because of what you said, but because of the dignity you maintained when things got quiet. You become the benchmark for strength in her mind, the man who stayed centered while everyone else panicked. By mastering the pause, you turn her silence into the very thing that draws her back to your strength. From attachment to authority. Detachment is not about being cold or heartless. It is the ultimate psychological superpower that most men never learn to use. Most men are conditioned to believe that when a woman pulls away, the solution is to hold on tighter. They think that by showing more love, proving their devotion, or being constantly available, they can fix the gap. But in reality, clinging is a loud, vibrating signal of weakness. It tells her that your happiness is a house of cards that she has the power to blow down at any moment. True masculinity is defined by the ability to care deeply about a woman without actually needing her to validate your existence. The moment you stop obsessively asking yourself, does she still care? And start firmly affirming, I am grounded regardless, the entire power dynamic shifts in your favor. You are essentially taking the remote control of your emotions back into your own hands. By detaching, you are teaching her a vital lesson. Your energy has strict boundaries, and your attention is a finite, valuable resource that can be withdrawn if it isn't respected. This shift transforms you into something incredibly rare in the modern world, a man who moves with his own purpose, regardless of who is following him. When you stop being an emotional satellite orbiting her every move, you become the sun, the center of your own universe. This is what makes a man truly magnetic. People, and specifically women, are naturally drawn to those who possess a high degree of self respect and emotional autonomy. When she sees that her absence didn't break you, that you didn't crumble into a mess of checking in texts or emotional pleas, she realizes that you have an internal foundation that doesn't rely on her. That realization is a massive attraction trigger. It signals that you have high value because you aren't begging for hers. You move from a position of seeking approval to a position of emotional authority, where you are the one who decides who gets access to your time and your peace. The energy shift. To master attraction, you must understand that it is created by polarity, not by pursuit. Think of it like a magnet. If you keep chasing the other end, you are simply pushing it further away. Pursuit is a taking energy. It says, I need something from you to feel okay. Polarity, however, is a being energy. The absolute second you stop pouring your mental and emotional energy into her, that energy doesn't just vanish, it begins to circulate back into you. This is where the real work begins. Instead of spending your nights wondering what she's doing, you start sharpening your mind, strengthening your body, and refocusing on your professional mission. You take the fire that was previously burning you up with anxiety and you use it as fuel to build your empire. This isn't about acting like you've moved on. It's about actually becoming a version of yourself that is too busy growing to be worried about who isn't calling. Even if you have zero contact with her, she will eventually sense this shift in your frequency. Humans are highly intuitive, and an absence that is filled with growth feels very different from an absence filled with bitterness or waiting. When you are genuinely focused on your own evolution, your silence starts to carry a specific scent, the scent of a man who is leveling up. She begins to realize that she didn't just walk away from a guy who was sitting on his couch waiting for a text. She walked away from a man who is actively becoming a superior version of himself. This creates a powerful psychological effect known as fear of missing out. She sees you becoming sharper, more focused, and more physically imposing, and she has to reconcile the fact that she no longer has access to that upgraded version of you. You have effectively flipped the script. You are no longer the one begging for a connection. You have become the source of connection itself. You have built a life and an aura that are so compelling that the world starts coming to you, and she is forced to watch from the sidelines as you become the man you were always meant to be. The Brotherhood of Mastery, your lifetime foundation for power. Real transformation is never found in the endless cycle of scrolling through videos or passively consuming content in the dark. You can watch 1,000 videos on stoicism and attraction, but knowledge without application is just a sophisticated way of wasting time. True change, the kind that alters the way you walk into a room and how people react to your presence, only happens through disciplined, consistent action and a fundamental shift in your core mindset. If you are tired of being a spectator in your own life, if you are done chasing the noise of modern dating and temporary validation, and if you are finally ready to embody true masculine power, then you belong here. This isn't just another digital program you'll forget about in a week. It is a lifetime commitment to excellence. We have built a community that serves as a sanctuary for men who are serious about leveling up. This is a private, high-level space designed specifically for those who want to master the deep mechanics of emotional control, the nuances of attraction, and the high-level psychology of influence that separates the leaders from the followers. We call this a brotherhood because it is built on the principle of mutual growth and long-term stability. Unlike traditional courses that charge you for every update or lock you into a monthly subscription that drains your bank account, we believe in a one-time investment for a lifetime of value. When you join, you gain lifetime access. You enroll once and you grow forever. This means as the world changes and as the dynamics of human interaction evolve, your access to the tools needed to navigate them remains constant. You are securing your spot in a room where the standards never drop. You aren't just buying a set of files. You are joining a movement of men who hold each other accountable to a higher standard of discipline and purpose. The world doesn't stand still, and neither do we. We are committed to constant evolution, which means the brotherhood grows with you. Every future book we publish, every advanced lesson we film, and every high level resource we develop is added to your dashboard at absolutely no extra cost. We are constantly digging deeper into the psychology of power and resilience, and as a member, you get a front row seat to every breakthrough. You will never have to worry about missing out on the latest version or being upsold on a new pro tier. Once you are in, you are part of the inner circle for life. This is our promise to you. As we get better, you get better. We provide the roadmap, the updates, and the community support so that your trajectory is always moving upward. Finally, we take pride in the fact that there is no fluff in this community. We understand that your time is your most valuable asset, so we don't waste it with filler content, empty motivational quotes, or get rich quick schemes. We focus strictly on the raw strategies and the deep level mindset shifts required to become truly unshakable. We teach you how to build a frame that doesn't crack under pressure, how to communicate with authority, and how to navigate complex emotional landscapes without losing your center. This is about practical, real world application. We cut through the nonsense to give you the exact blueprints you need to take control of your life, your relationships, and your future. If you are ready to stop talking about the man you want to be and start actually being him, the link is below. Enroll once, join the Brotherhood, and let's get to work. The Stoic Victory, becoming the man who can't be replaced. The ultimate realization you must reach is that the Stoic victory has nothing to do with her coming back and everything to do with you coming alive. In the beginning, you might have used silence as a tactic, a clever way to trigger her curiosity or a move to get a response. But as you progress through this journey of detachment, something profound shifts within your soul. Your silence stops being a strategy and starts becoming your natural state of being. You are no longer waiting for a text while pretending to be busy. You are actually busy, building a life that is so fulfilling and so grounded that a notification on a screen no longer has the power to alter your heart rate. This is the moment you win, not because you conquered her, but because you conquered the need for her validation. You have reached a level of internal peace that is entirely independent of anyone else's opinion or presence. When a man reaches himself, when he finally connects with his own purpose and self-worth, he radiates a type of power that is rare, quiet, and incredibly heavy. Even if she never reaches out again, she will never be able to escape the feeling of you. In a world full of men who are loud, reactive, and easily manipulated by their emotions, your memory stands out like a monolith. You become the ghost that haunts her quiet moments, not out of bitterness, but because you represent the one thing she can never replace, a man who is truly whole on his own. Most people spend their lives trying to find someone to complete them, but you have done the hard work of completing yourself. That kind of stability is addictive and unforgettable. Every time she encounters a man who loses his temper, who begs for her attention, or who crumbles under the slightest bit of pressure, her mind will instinctively snap back to the image of your calm. She will remember the man who didn't flinch, the man who respected himself enough to walk away, and the man whose peace spoke louder than any argument ever could. By mastering the quiet, you have effectively removed yourself from the market of average men. You are no longer competing for her time because you have realized that your time is the prize. This is the paradox of the Stoic victory. The less you need to be found, the more people wonder where you are. You have built an inner world that is so secure that no silence can disrupt it, and no absence can diminish it. Whether she returns or stays gone, your value remains untouched. You have become a man of substance, a man who knows that his worth is not a variable based on someone else's feelings. This is the highest form of masculine energy, the ability to be a source of strength that doesn't require an audience. You aren't just a memory in her head. You are a standard of excellence that she will likely never find again. You have mastered the art of being felt, even when you are no longer there, simply because you became a man worth remembering.